Tina Knowles is standing up on why her girl Solange and her child in regulation, Jay-Z, are not friendly. And it seems to be this relational peculiarity is much more poisonous than it looks. Well, since you establish a climate where it's not wanted, it's been a long time since the send-off and Jay-Z's met function battle. And you figure these two would have set their disparities to the side at this point anyway. As per Miss Tina Knowles, Salas totally can't stand Jay-Z right up to the present day. And their relationship is similarly as harmful as could be expected, sources near Solange additionally. As of late uncovered that Solange supposedly disliked Jay-Z well before the bamboozling embarrassment, and felt like Jay controlled Beyonce when she was excessively youthful to realize better. I feel like she never got to encounter existence with the various kinds of individuals, and the way that he was so old calm. I feel like the main way she communicates her thoughts is through her music. Since Beyonce took Jay-Z back after he betrayed her, their influence, couple status hasn't completely recuperated, and it presumably never will. Sure, they had the cash and the status, yet tales about their poisonous relationship are as clearly as could be expected. I might want to thank my wonderful spouse. Music. Jay likewise purportedly has an exceptionally broken relationship with the remainder of Beyonce's family, particularly her wildly defensive sister Solange anyway. Solange's enmity towards Jay-Z didn't begin with that lift battle, and sources near Solange are currently uncovering she never supported or believed Jake, and consistently felt that he was too controlling. Now, for those of you who don't have a clue about, there's been many reports throughout the long term about Jay and Beyonce's most memorable gathering. Beyonce claims in a meeting with 17 magazine that she met Jay when she was 18. Anyway, in his 2007 meeting with Charlie Rose, Jay said that he met Beyonce a long time back, and they held on until she was 18 to begin dating. So assuming Jay met Beyonce in 1997, she was either 16 or had quite recently turned 17 while he was 28. So for what reason was a very nearly 30-year elderly person trusting that a youngster will turn lawful age? Isn't that in a real sense prepping him you're a casualty? And what compels us considerably creepier is that Beyonce isn't the main teen Jay, a legend, truly went after. Recall Charming Brown, better believe it, as per a few group, Jay supposedly had a relationship with Saucy Earthy Colored when she was only 15. Saucy generally guaranteed that they were simply companions anyway. When Jay's previous colleague Lady Run was gotten some information about Jay and Charming, he responded protectively, "What age was Saucy Earthy Colored child? You realize I wasn't focusing on Saucy Brown." Better believe it, yet that is, I didn't sign Saucy Earthy Colored. I realize I'm posing an inquiry on the off chance that I'm on the block. I'm answerable for everyone. You can do the manager. I wasn't. Goodness, presently I'm the supervisor. I thought Charming was like 16. That is all I'm saying. Was that, did I shine her? It seems as though all I'm expressing sounds in this industry. When we experience it's anything but an inquiry for Jay posed to him. Don't pose me these inquiries. You all continue to ask me inquiries. You all need to ask him. Since he ain't here, ask him. I got to do with that. And I do not know anything about that. And presently I would try and prefer not to not recall anything about that. And you can't fault woman for not needing any piece of this discussion on the grounds that by that point he had previously reduced most, if not all, connection with Jay-Z over Jay's relationship with R. Kelly's criminal way of behaving was a loosely held bit of information in the business since the 90s, and Lady guaranteed that Jay-Z realized that Kelly hurt Aaliyah when she was only a teen. But Jay would not cut attaches with R. Kelly. Truth be told, after reality with regards to Kelly's unlawful union with Aaliyah was uncovered, Jay delivered a joint collection with Kelly called Best Case Scenario, and Lady said this is the point at which he understood that Jay has no understanding of profound quality except for I've been tight about this. _____. for quite a long time, so to be straightforward, like in the event that you recollect the best case scenario, you don't see my name on that, you understand what I mean. And your name isn't on either collection, damnation. No, I never need to know portions of that. Somebody was doing that. Underscore underscore. I resembled brother, you realize our home slice disregarded. And he disregarded my young lady, he disregarded a cordial office. James additionally said that Jay himself made a good attempt to get with Aaliyah anyway. When Aaliyah unfortunately lost her life in 2001, Jay immediately directed his concentration toward Beyonce. This supposedly made Solange entirely awkward. And however she was excessively youthful, at an opportunity to acknowledge what was happening, source is near Solange, are expressing that looking back she feels frustrated about Beyonce, in light of the fact that Jay completely controlled her before Beyonce began dating Jay. She just had one sweetheart in secondary school, and she additionally grew up with a severe dad that was exceptionally controlling. So it's a good idea that she was dazzled by Jay in his status in the business anyway. The warnings were there from the beginning. Jay himself conceded in his hymn 444. Did he caution Beyonce not to humiliate him before he guaranteed her as his sweetheart, which is really unexpected considering he wound up humiliating her by bamboozling duping embarrassments about Jay-Z previously showed up in 2005 after a few industry insiders asserted that Jay was drawing near to his protege Rihanna, who was only 17 at that point. And keeping in mind that Rihanna's distributes later rejected that something occurred among her and Jay-Z, the tricking tales persevered. And not long to another rock country craftsman, Rita Ora. In the meantime, a few different ladies came for asserting that Jay attempted to take action on them, including rapper Liv, who uncovered that Jay asked her for her number and attempted to persuade her to be his slippery connection. Generally, Jake hit me on some, I will contact you when I'm visiting the area. He maintained that you should be his young lady Friday. Do you maintain that I should be a young lady on YouTube music? And it resembles for me I'm not that. Underscore underscore. Like I could do a ton of things, a ton of young ladies. You realize a ton of things behind individuals back that will return karma. I have a ton of regard for Beyonce as a craftsman, as a lady, as a spouse, as gone against at the time. It resembled, you understand, what I could do a ton of dirty things to set up in a way where I need to get insane to that yet, so I wasn't even on that. So it resembles I'd botched, not botched an open door, but rather I left a ton of chances in view of the fundamentals. I'm doing whatever it takes not to think twice about this game. And presently I'm here, so it resembles, don't stress, I ain't saying this is in a real sense, you can't say this is residing, you know it resembles, I'm not going that course, so you must regard me. And I'm making an effort not to work with them either, so that is the reason I'm like. Underscore underscore. You, since I don't mind, I would rather not work, you don't feel like that. And afterward in 2013, Jay-Z was purportedly spotted celebrating with model Claudia Skilling. And Claudia Leonard let the Mirror know that Jay didn't raise his significant other or girl by any means in the discussion anyway. Claudia additionally rejected that anything occurred among her and Jay. And as of now, there was no genuine verification that Jay was a miscreant. However, at that point, this occurred at the 2014 Met occasion. After film of Solange thumping Jay-Z became famous, online fans took this affirmation that Jay truly betrayed Beyonce, and keeping in mind that Beyonce and Jay never uncover what precisely occurred before the lift battle, one source told E! News. This Solange saw Jay playing with Woman Run's ex Rachel Roy at the drug lady get-together. And what truly sets to send off was perceiving the way in which Jay expressed nothing to Rachel, and allegedly attempted to make it seem as though Beyonce and Solange were insane. The source guaranteed that Jace directed a few discourteous sentiments toward Beyonce's send-off as the showdown was going down, and that is the reason Beyonce didn't mediate when Solange began being known Jay anyway. The Carters later gave an assertion tending to the occurrence and asserted that the family has dealt with it, and assuming there's no ill will among J and Solange each took care of what has happened. The proclamation perused the two of them, recognized their job in this confidential matter that has worked out in open. The two of them have apologized to one another, and we have pushed ahead as a unified family. Anyway, Jay later freely conceded he betrayed Beyonce, and he guaranteed they chose to remain together for their family. And you can be enamored with somebody, you can cherish somebody, and you nodded in the event that you haven't encountered love, you don't comprehend it, and you don't have the devices to push ahead, then you will have difficulties, period. And in the event that you can either address it, or you can imagine until it explodes eventually. And for us, we decided to battle for our adoration for our family, to give our children an alternate result. To break that cycle, for individuals of color and ladies, just to see an alternate result, like you were saying, isn't this superstar? Since we were never a 2 or 3, we were a couple who incidentally turned out to be VIPs. That is wonderful, like genuine individuals. Definitely. Jay was additionally inquired as to whether the result would have been something similar, assuming Beyonce had betrayed him. And he said he trusted he would have been basically serious areas of strength for as her on the off chance that this ought to have been on the other foot, whether the offenses had been her ally. How about you have the option to be as pardoning of her as she was of you? I trust again on the grounds that I love her the same way regardless of what side I love her, the same way I ask that I will on the grounds that her solidarity and her, yet as of now, fans were tired of Jay's gaslighting and control. Since we as a whole realized Jay could never remain with Beyonce on the off chance that she freely went behind his back with another man. And presently we're hearing this send-off feels the very same way. And in spite of the per-articulation about the lift battle, the family is obviously distant from joined. As a matter of fact, one source near Tina Knowles as of late uncovered that Tina is battling to hold the family together in light of the fact that Solange won't be in Jay's presence anyway. While Solange purportedly still figures Beyonce would be in an ideal situation without Jay, Tina clearly believes Beyonce should remain wedded.